I'm a Jeep Grand Cherokee lover. I'm on my fourth one. There is a problem with the tipm, the computer that controls the whole vehicle, and it needs to be replaced and it needs to be put on the recall list free of charge for all Jeep lovers, just like everything else on the call list. So nobody gets hurt before it's done. I'm actually on my fourth Jeep. I love Jeeps, and everybody that's even ridden in my Jeep, most of the people have even bought Jeeps as well. My daughter is 19 years old and she bought a Jeep. Guy I work with that I worked with for years, he bought a Jeep. We just love Jeeps. And my Jeep's older, although it's a 2012, but it's in immaculate condition. I love it. And I love the interior. I've always loved the way they ride. My system, I just loved everything about it. And just recently, my fiance sitting in the car. I was upstairs at my brother's house, and I come back downstairs, and she's telling me that my Jeep's possessed and it's going crazy. And I'm like, What's going on?" So literally, my dashboard lit up like a Christmas tree. It's my ABS was going on. It said my ABS. It was saying that the key was not in the car, which we can circle back around to that one because that's been happening for a while. My windshield wipers were going off. The lights that are on the steering wheel control were blinking and dimming. Um, it's actually come to the point where once I was in drive, I can't take it out of drive without jiggling my shifter. If you have the seatbelt on, it says that your seatbelt isn't on. It's telling me my airbags aren't connected. My complete braking system, my battery light, check engine, whatever light could possibly go off, went off. It was ridiculous. So I stopped. I didn't know what was going on. So I turned the car off. I couldn't start the car again. It wouldn't start. I had no idea why it wouldn't start, and so I let it sit for a second, and I'm sitting in the car, so I locked the doors, and then I attempted to use my automatic starter. When I put the automatic starter on, it did start, but shut off like 5 seconds later. And then when I tried to start it again, then it started again. But the lights and everything kept going crazy. Fortunately, I live close by to where I was. I don't remember where. Oh, I was at my brother's house, and he lives pretty close to me. And oh, what else happened to it? Oh, um, driving it refused to switch gears. It just stayed in first. It wouldn't switch gears, so a couple of times I had to drive really, really slow so I wouldn't have to go out of first gear, and it just continued to happen over and over again. So I started looking up on Jeep forums and Jeep manufacturers, and I was looking up problems that they had, electrical problems, and so on and so forth. I came up to what was described as the tipm, which is the computer that controls or makes every other part of the computer whole car talk to the other computers. So I had it checked. Well, I didn't have it checked, but uh, I looked it up, and then I was looking up the Jeep manufacturer about recalls and so on and so forth. There were a few recalls. One was the alternator, one was something to do with the braking system, and then they said that there was also a recall on a pump, and that it was for diesel Jeeps. And then when I did get the other recalls done, that they said that there was another recall that wasn't about diesel Jeeps, that it had something to do with the tip but not the tipm itself. So I really didn't understand that. I thought the tipm was just all computerized. So I keep looking up all these things and all these consumer complaints and what people have said to the Jeep manufacturer. And I tried to get in touch with the Jeep manufacturer myself, and I had phone numbers and I couldn't get through. And finally, I had did a complaint with the forum, which is pretty much how I probably gotten connected to you. So what happened was I had to go for a new inspection and so on and so forth. And I was scared that the Jeep wasn't going to pass because I thought all the stuff. I was scared to drive it long distances or anything. Fortunately, I live 10 minutes, I work 10 minutes from my house. So even if it did do that, so I let it sit for a while. And I kept talking to mechanics that I knew. And then I had a very good mechanic friend of mine. He checked it out. So what he did was he cleared the whole system. Also, before he did that, things that I looked up, said it said to disconnect the negative battery cable and or disconnect the positive battery cable and ground it to the negative, which would um, take some kind of charge or something out of it. I also read that the Jeep Grand Cherokee 2012 only likes a specific kind of battery. I read taking if the battery has ever been jumped or if it had less power in it, that it would make the computer go crazy. I read that the Jeep manufacturer, since it was combined with Fiat, also knows about this problem. And on this website uh, that they had responded to, in theory, and we're not sure exactly if it was them or not, but it was saying on that um, that they refuse to own any kind of ownership of the TIPM. It states that they do know that there is a problem with the TIPM, and people were getting it fixed, getting it replaced. People were paying $1,300, and that now there's actually places that rebuild TIPMs, and they said it's an ongoing problem, and they refuse to take ownership of it, and they refuse to put it on their recall list. Now, the pump part of the TIPM, which is on the recall list, and they say that that could, may fix the problem, but it's not available to any Jeep dealers, so the Jeep dealers can't even fix it. Now, this has been going on with the 2012 Grand Cherokees. It's been going on with Wranglers. It's also been going on with Durangos, other Chrysler products. I was told by a friend of mine who works at a very big um, car place, and he told me to put this information in my complaints and take pictures and videos of other people's complaints and put it on Snapchat and Instagram. And the Jeep manufacturer, since they don't want this known to everybody, that they would instantly call you back and be like, "Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa." I've even heard of them saying that some people were getting a brand new Jeep just to keep them quiet. And the people that were paying the $1,300, those people that were getting it fixed, the Jeep manufacturer says, "All right, well, if you pay to get it fixed, then we will refund those people that got it fixed, but only those people for up to 70,000 miles." I've had numerous extended warranty people calling me, which the extended warranty for Jeep, or I'm not sure if it's for any other cars, but they keep calling me about this warranty thing. And this warranty that would cover anything electrical, or anything that doesn't have to do with collision for my regular insurance, and which would literally cost more than me paying for my insurance. I have full coverage. I'm a Navy veteran. My insurance is only $106 a month for full coverage. So I was having all these problems, and now then I was told that this Jeep, this tipm computer, happens to only it's like a video game. I can't think of the video game right now, but it's like the video game. The computer seems to memorize the owner of the vehicle. So if somebody else drives the vehicle, then it tries to adjust to someone else driving the vehicle. Now, I had an ex girlfriend that drove the vehicle, and she drove like a bat out of hell. Once my computer was reset, slowly it went on for another 2 days, and then it stopped. I think the initial warning was I have a push button start. I think the initial warning, which I had no idea then, was my push button and my vehicle kept saying that my key was not detected. I replaced the keys, I put new batteries in, and still kept saying not detected. Nobody knows. You can look up on most things, and they don't know that you can actually pull that button out and just use the key fob as a regular key. So I literally, it took me like 4 or 5 hours to find that. So I've been using my key fob. I haven't tried to put the key back in yet. I mean, the button for the push start. I haven't tried to put that back in yet. Slowly things seem to come back. 2 days ago, I had to replace the harmonic balancer, and then my check engine light came back on, and I just had it cleared again from the Jeep dealer. I had the check engine light, so I don't know if that's going to come back on or not. I'm hoping not. One of the other things that was happening is my Bluetooth. I couldn't Bluetooth my car. It was saying that there was no code. And then today I tried, and then it started working about 2 weeks ago. I just pressed the button and the auxiliary and connected the Bluetooth, and it started working, although it kept shutting off and it wouldn't stay on. And now that I guess they had to disconnect the battery to do the harmonic balancer, which is a general problem they say that goes wrong with Jeeps if you get over, when you get high mileage on them. That's something that just needs to be replaced. So that was neither here nor there. It's the computer thing that bothers me. It's this TIPM that Jeep acknowledges that there's a problem with it, and they're refusing to put it on their recall list. All these Jeeps, I'm talking about thousands and thousands of people, and it's just ridiculous for those of us that really love Jeeps. And like I said, this is my fourth one. The 2004, I bought that brand new off the lot. That did not have the TIPM in it. No problem with that. I don't recall exactly what year. I think it was put in 2010, I believe. It's just something that I really feel like they should put on their recall list. And those of us that have Jeeps, we shouldn't have to pay for this if they know for a fact that it is a problem. You can't start your car. Your car's not shifting. It's not again. I mean, what if somebody have to get in an accident? Does somebody have to get killed? I mean, what's got to happen before they just say, "Hey, look, we got to replace all these tip homes and make them available to the public so the Jeep dealers can get them in and get them fixed." So I don't know what to do. I'm just doing I'm fixing my little wear and little stupid wear and tear, and is my Jeep runs great, and it's just I'm just on pins and needles, scared to death when this is going to pop up again. Well, I don't want. Yeah, well, aside the word's already out. What I'm trying to do is hopefully everybody can get to this Jeep manufacturer and have them put these tipms on a recall list. It's a computer system that has all these computers in the vehicle, and if you're gonna, it's as the vehicle gets older, I'm not sure if they have to update software like a cell phone, but something's got to give. And if you're putting a recall on an alternator and you're putting a recall on the brakes, which nothing happened to my brakes and nothing happened to my alternator. So now you're telling me that my car can shut down, it cannot start, my windshield wipers go off, my lights are blinking, and all that stuff, and you're not going to fix that? That's a hazard, and that's something they need to replace.